When we approached Engürü, spring had spread the smell of cool and spacious flowers all over the place, and we had such a way in which the Engürüs had never seen such a gym. The people who were excited about our arrival were even more excited about the 20-pair ball being thrown out the castle. There was a shimmering water sebil on almost every corner. By standing at the head of Hacı Nasu Sebili, we would remove our thirst. However, as it was about to get dark, we left this clean city to visit the next day and spread out to the guest houses reserved for us. I have been a guest with a few soldiers at the Kedarzade, one of the Molla piles. Our upstairs guest room was copper-plated, with flat butterflies lying upon top. Our faces reflected on copper plates in the light of the candle, as if they were brighter with every shade. We fed our eyes and then our stomach in a comparative table with musk-scented goat meat cooked in the middle with onions and potatoes, lush wraps made of rice, fresh petals, soft basements, marinated Ankara bacon, ice like springy moon, and a red grape syrup. Toward the end of the meal, our host began to praise Ankara goats. Our lind goats has no meaning in the world. They climb steep slopes in our mountains where no one can climb, eat 1,000 kinds of grass. They eat pomegranates and thyme, and they have musk-scented cereals, which are not found in other lands. Our host told us where he got this city's name. Turns out the name Engürü came from the vineyards we see all over the city. The Rookie called it Engürü because the castle had a lot of gates. The Turks called it Engürü, Ankiri, Inkiri, Aydınkiri, Unkuru, and Engürü, but it was written in Ankara on the Padişah defense. After a chat about the city, we fell asleep in a warm sleep with our wool-made covers with tape's gold. I got up before the morning prayer and said my prayers. I arrived at Hacı Bayram Veli Tekkesi. When I returned to mansion, I began a new sheriff of the crown, whose work I had done and honored with his visit. After 2 recited prayers, I read the prayer of employment and fell asleep. I dreamed of a medium height, yellow-bearded, honey-colored soft cardigan, and 12 times with Muhammad yellow on the same color cone. I began to trample in front of His Majesty like an autumn leaf. He lent me to his gentle voice to understand myself. Look, my son, is it worth it that you walk away from me on my request to Köse Bayram Veli? Visit him and start a mistake, but don't send me a Fatiha. Is it convenient? I said, I don't trample if it's a rake. And I said, I don't trample. Sultan, who is your sheriff in heaven? I don't know about you. Where do you stay calm? A little bit more, he said. Didn't you private in Engürü'nün when you were praying to Pehlevans in the Tekke of Gracious and in the presence of Sultan Murat, Yellow Sultan in the Greek Republic? I am the private sultan in Engürü. I am lying in a dark room in the Odunpazar near the lower fortress. Come, visit me. Visit me with a Fatiha and said, you be said in 2 jihads. Private your disciple. Tomorrow a person will come to you in my face so that he will lead you to me. I woke up and saying, God bless you. I went to Odunpazar. As we went down the castle, the dealers were groveling, and a few men with biceps were chucking the goat's wool without any tools. Then the nexters put the lint from the goats in the sack and sell it immediately. I approached a merchant and said, Rage, brother, you have no fear of God, no shame in ashes. You torture these mute creatures. Don't you have scissors, or do you also remove hair instead of cutting them? The merchant with the red and lovely face smiles. Do we ever torture a brother? That's the man of the business. Our gods are not created in another realm. It keeps softly and warm without sweetening, doesn't make it sick, doesn't hurt the skin. Even the blessed kaftans of our padishah are made of this soften. But if we cut them with scissors, it becomes hard as I felt. It loses its quality. The moans of the sponges who used to pluck their feathers were heard from Elmata. Fortunately, our ancestors laundered water with lime and ash. He showed the white fluid inside the cube and grabbed a handful of them. And then he rubbed the goat's wool and all over the skin without too much milling. That's why animal anguish never suffer, but our wool is soft. The animals that were driven by this way were left spoiled with not a single feather left on them. And I am happy as Klein that these poor animals don't suffer. I am headed for the west gate of the castle. As I was heading toward the horse bazaar, a man like the one I dreamed of the day before came to me. Private Sultan sent me to you in my dream. You are going to visit his shrine. Come on, let's go, he did. We went quite back to the Odun Bazaar for a while. This is it, and then he showed me a doomed place in the well. He held my hand, but he had no bones. He was foaming like a dough. I let go of your hand in fear. At the time, Dervish suddenly disappeared. I entered the place that Darby escaped. But this wasn't a shrine, it was a donor. When I was surprised what to do, the Derby's boneless hand pulled me to Siller. You are safer here. Keep your voice down for a while, he warned me. We watched them quietly through the small hole. Meanwhile, Dervish disappeared again. Then he shouted and said, Protect, Private Sultan, protect. I moaned. I lost the dervish you sent to me and remained unguided. Don't leave me empty-handed. May God be my soul, and I shall read a hymn for your blessed soul. As soon as I said it, I found myself next to Private Sultan's green box. I immediately went under the green soft cover with the bell, and I started lying by driving it to feet. I saw Private Sultan in a way between sleep and awaking. Peace be upon you, Hafizah, for you are decorated with the crown and you are a seal of the saint. Don't pull an electric. Your way is the right way. But while you are traveling with these scoundrels, be truthful and break up with them. Ask your Pasha to let go of the treasure in the chest and not even to torment my people as executioners. And may the paradise bog give you full travel, faith in the last breath, and the mercy of the Rasulullah. But eat a little on your troubles, say a little bit, sleep a little, and deal with the science. You be a genius, and you'll buy that name. Then I had that blessed dream I had in the Ahi Çelebi Mosque in Istanbul, in the presence of the great prophet, as a tremblet. Şefaat ya Resulallah. Sehat, travel, or Resulallah. I said it. I couldn't help but think that the wisdom of my journey from place to place like autumn leaves is these prayers. After Private Sultan left, 50 of those who looked so much like him came to me. As I was hidden to kiss his hand with respect, a noise came out of nowhere. Where is the derivative of this species? I woke up with the voices of people screaming. This one belonged to a group of visitors. Then I realized I fell asleep under the green trunk cover. I am the servant of the shrine. I was going to, but I saw the visitors running off of fear screaming. I fell asleep here. Be my guest. I want to explain it, but it was futile. I went back to the mansion where I was guest and I visited Haji Bayram Veli and Private Sultan. Goodbye. Before I say goodbye to the city, I also distribute alms to the poor, but the poor seem to have no gold.